Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Lopez here. Thank you for coming on down to the gun line and to listen to this new episode, number 237. So, just a quick heads up on this one. I was supposed to be having an interview with our guest, Mr. Flores. However, due to some audio issues, we had to reschedule. I will put in a clip of what we discussed. Um, and there'll be a definite, real, more thorough interview with him. So we ended up recording for a bit, and it just wasn't doing very well with the audio and whatnot. So what we ended up doing was we cut the interview short and planned for another date for him to come on down. And from there, Hunt and I went ahead and did another episode. So we're gonna go ahead and just hear the beginning of Mr. Flores and what he's trying to do as far as getting the combat patch awarded to those that served on the DMZ during the era of the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. All right. Pretty much the Cold War era. So I'd love to have your feedback. Put them here in the comments, slide them up in the DMs or over at onthegunline@gmail.com. And for those of y'all with the feedback on TikTok, thank you so much. I hope y'all can start following me as well. That'd be great. Am I the biggest TikToker or podcaster out there? No, what you get here is real, though. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I hope you enjoy this episode, and yeah, welcome to the Gun Line. Hey, Gunline, Gunline, Gunline. We got a fire mission coming down, y'all. I'm your host, Lopez, and you're listening to the On the Gunline podcast where we shoot the shit like we did out in the field. So go on and pop a squat because it's about to get hot right now. You on the Gunline now. I got my co-host, Lee Hunt, as always with me, giving us the blessings with them beautiful locks. And with me here, I teased it yesterday on the TikTok and on the Facebook and on Instagram. We have a veteran here who served during the Cold War era. Looks like he was an infantryman, and he wants to speak on the combat patch being awarded or authorized for use for those that served on the DMZ or in Korea. He'll elaborate a little bit more on that here in a second, but he wants to speak on that, and he's driving right now, so it's gonna be kind of like maybe a part one of this shit. And then from there, we'll definitely get some feedback from you all to what his thoughts are, and we'll go from there. So with that being said, if you could just go ahead and do me a huge favor here, my man, and introduce yourself.
Hi, name's Edward Flores. Like my homie just said, yeah, I was in the Cold War. Um, uh, my I've had several MOSs, but the near and dear to me, the one I had when I was in RA was 11 Bravo. And when my real duty was in Korea, um, I was at a place called Camp House, and that was up north of Seoul. Um, they used to call that. They're, off the top of my head, I can't remember what they used to call that. But yeah, it was up north. And then when we did the DMZ mission, it was um, Warrior Base, our original camp. I did time in. We patrolled the DMZ at Warrior Base. We did quick reaction force. Um, we was on guard post Olet just above Panmunjom, and yeah, that's where I did my duty, and that's where I feel that everybody, myself included, of course, but also all the other thousands of veterans that did time on the DMC, you know, were fire or the threat of hostile fire, coining phrases from AR 670-1 or the combat patch. We did all that, Um, and if you do something, of course, of course we were all volunteers. You did all that, then where is our government and hooking us up for what we did? You know what I mean?
So
Of
with that,
course, people. Uh,
so let me ask you a question. What years did was it that you were out there?
I was I got stationed out there January 1988. It should have been a year, but when I cussed out the retention NCO when he asked me if I wanted to re-up,
Hmm.
a couple of days later, I came down on orders on involuntary extension.
Oh,
Good.
nice.
So
Got him.
yeah, I cussed him out. I didn't really cuss him out, but the fact,
And see, this is what I knew was going
you
to
know,
happen. Yeah.
F that, why would I want to do that, And it was like, uh, so it was a year and a half, January 1988 to June 1989.
Gotcha. So here's the thing.
Yeah,
Dude, it's really having shitty reception, and I knew this was gonna
sounds
happen.
there.
So let's cut loose right here. We'll pick back up when you get back from your trip.
Okay.
And that way we can go ahead and
Yeah, because I do have a very interesting question that I do want to ask as well, and it kind of coincides with the Cold War because you know, for, if you think about the Cold War, we were still fighting,
Yeah, yeah,
with Russia, and before the
yeah,
Berlin Wall fell, we still had forces in Germany as well. So it's like,
yeah,
okay, we
yeah,
had East Berlin and West Berlin. So
yeah.
like I said, this is kind of where my question wants to go, and I want to get your opinion about it after we, take this little pause X and we can do this again.
Check this out. I know it's going to come up. People are going to say that are not really informed. They're going to say, well, there's the KDSM,
mhm.
Korea Defense Service Medal. But yeah, but everybody got that, right? That was down south. That was not on the DMZ missions. And we, the combat troops, were actually out there, and we're the ones, who everybody is supporting. We're the ones out there. You know what I mean? All the combat troops and Marines too, because I know Marines was there because I went one time. We were caroling for Christmas, right? And and I look over there, and I forget where it was at, but there's a Marine there. They got the hat, right? That'll
Mhm.
you always give
Mhm.
it away, right? And I'm like, whoa. And he goes, yeah, we're Marines. We get stationed here too. I'm like, oh, you know. So those Marines too, they don't get combat patches, I know, but they could get that combat action ribbon or whatever. You know what I mean?
So
So I'm looking at them too, and saying, hey, y'all deserve this too, man. I'm trying to say this for Marines too, because back in the day, it was all the little rivalry,
yeah.
but they're my brothers now. You know what I mean? También,
So
and
let me ask you, Ed.
yeah,
So let me ask you. So is it the recognition as that you're looking for, as far as like, we were in combat, we just uh didn't we're not receiving the respect that we deserve, or what exactly is the end state like that we're looking for?
all of that, bro, all of that, because it's all like the military was black and white, and per black and white, the letter of AR 670-1. When I texted this to you yesterday, 99.9% is all there that we did, but what? That recognition from on high, from DOD, from Pentagon, from the president, whoever have you, it was not. They took away that designation, I think in '73, because they didn't want a two-front war with Vietnam and the Korean War. And I mentioned the 109th Congress, DeWine, he acknowledges that the dad over there, the grandpa, Kim Il Sung, declared war on the U.S. at that time again. And so basically, the government, the powers that be, didn't want a two-front war, so they took away that hostile designation, that combat designation, and so we're not recognized. But aside from that, being a recognized combat zone, hostile fire zone, or whatever, we did all that, and like that little text I sent you. At Fort Carson, they gave me an axe handle when I was out there in the field guarding this ASB. I got shanghaied for one weekend to go out there. Hey, you're on guard duty. Here's an axe handle. You're on guard duty. Well, if that was the case and the DMZ was not a combat zone and we don't get recognized for it, then give me an axe handle.
I feel you. Again, I think, Ed, I think this will be a better conversation once we actually get to sit down and
okay.
And we don't have to worry about bad reception from the road.
Yeah, because you keep cutting in and out.
Oh, I'm sorry, my man.
No, it's the road. It's not you. It's the road. We all know that, like,
you.
there's shitty towers everywhere. So it's definitely not you.
Well, he's out in Colorado, so those mountains are fucking rough. But Ed, do me a favor, Ed.
This is a little taste, and I gave you a little taste of my barbecue, and now you're gonna be salivating for the rest of the. Hey, remember that used to be on the radio for the rest of the story?
Yep.
I remember, and this cat would always say, "It's time for the rest of the story."
But
we'll talk about the rest of the story.
We will. Gunline. What is up, y'all? It's your host Lopez with your co-host Lee Hunt. Yay. We are over here today. We were supposed to be chopping it up with a veteran who served during the Cold War era. Sometime in like 88, he was in Korea. He was we were able to talk to him for a bit, but the signal was not the greatest, and it was all chopped and screwed like motherfucking Houston style music. So rather than do a shitty interview with him, he's going off on a quick trip, and he'll be back, and we'll definitely have a conversation with him. With that being said, for those that don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, on TikTok as well as Instagram and Facebook, I shared a post where it's kind of like a call to action. Cold War vets who served along the DMZ out in Korea, do they deserve a combat patch, or have they earned a combat patch? And lo and behold, there's quite a few comments on here. This is definitely by far the most popular any of my posts I've ever gotten. So thank you all.
Yeah, make sure you pin it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to do any of that, but cool. Yeah, I am halfway retarded, hence 13 problems.
Oh my God, you can't do that. They're gonna kill you.
Why? Because I said retarded?
Yes.
I can't say that. Are you serious?
I'm dead ass.
On what? What I can't say that on? On TikTok?
Or pretty much
YouTube's on everything?
No, pretty much what's it called? Well, I mean, you can say it, but it's like you got the repercussions.
Oh,
and then you know. Yeah. But this is the thing why I understand it, because I understand why some people get offended by that.
Give a fuck why they get offended by that.
No. They get offended by that because they have children. It's not them specifically. It's because they have children with special needs. And they're like, You know what?
But I'm not talking about children with special needs.
Yeah. No. That's
that
the
will
thing,
be
though.
An offense to children with special needs.
That's the thing, But so remember back in our day, we really didn't understand, children with special needs, especially autism. Mm-hmm. And we did throw around that word a lot with people. So now it's like, okay, now we understand about children with special needs. And then it's like, okay, we used to do that. That's not cool. We understand more about these children now. So it's not that they're that, it's that we understand how their brain works a little bit more.
There you go with that wokeism bullshit. I forgot everything I was about to fucking say when you came out of left field.
You're welcome. So Deutsch is up because of fucking. We can talk about Elon Musk's. But I can't
Hold
stand
on.
this motherfucker.
I'm not done yet. I am not done yet. So listen up, y'all, for real. So this dude, we tried to get him on here. Unfortunately, it wasn't working too well. But right now on the TikTok, I was trying to look at the fucking the what are they called? The messages and
comments?
shit.
Yeah,
The comments. And honestly, I keep seeing it's almost like a 50-50 versus like those that think that it is earned and deserved and those that don't believe it's earned and deserved. Honestly, I think the Army needs to do away with this combat patch bullshit already.
Yeah. The Marines don't have it. Marines don't have it.
They don't, you know, but it's like a fucking merit badge already on a fucking Boy Scouts thing.
It's a dick measuring contest. Let's be real. And honestly and truly, if we're gonna do that, this is why I really hate those people that talk about like, oh, you probably shouldn't be a drill sergeant if you don't have a combat patch. What do you know? You shouldn't be a section chief if you don't have a combat patch. You shouldn't be a first sergeant. That doesn't mean shit. And here's the deal why I say that. This is coming from somebody that was part of the initial invasion. That before Bush landed on that carrier, you see how we fucking did all saying? Yeah, like Chappelle.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. And before they were like, yo, mission accomplished, and they declared that all major hostilities had ended, that the war itself had ended, and now we were more like whatever the fuck they said it was. And honestly, in my opinion, then no one deserves that shit. Like y'all didn't go through the hardships of that. Like how many people did you can say, I got it? After that, there were still people doing fire missions. There's still infantry guys still having to do shit. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. But if we're talking about, but this is where I could think I could be a dickhead and be a fucking like how these other motherfuckers are. But the war was not declared. Into the war was declared. Now we were on or whatever the fuck mission that was, but it was not war. Plain and simple. Like I could be a dick about that and be like, you don't deserve that shit. You weren't at war. You were on a mission. A mission is different from war. So that just blows my mind with all these people that think that you had to have this shit when a lot of you motherfuckers, in my opinion, don't qualify. A lot of motherfuckers that talk that big shit, bitch. Once again, y'all don't know what it's like to go into a hostile country with no fucking armor, no body armor. A lot of these motherfuckers don't understand this shit, and that pisses me off when they think they're better than somebody. Years later, they came and had body armor. Their vehicles had armor. They had all this other shit. They had fobs set up. They get to get PlayStations at the PX. They get to do whatever the fuck at the PX. Get bean bags. The hygiene stores were set up. Everything there. They go get their patch and they think they're the shit. And it's like, no. If you the shit, you would have fucking dug your fighting position. Your gunnery sergeant would have told you, guess what? This is your fucking grave. By the way, the enemy's right the fuck over there. In the morning time, we got to go out, advon, set up for the guns, and the infantry's gonna go. Then the tankers are gonna fucking go. That's the shit that now you got me on my fucking high horse, guy.
I'm
now
listening, baby. I'm loving this.
Now sound like one of them fucking back in the day bros. But I'm really not, because I respect everybody that did it. I just don't think that people got to be dicks about it, because other people literally had it harder than you. And because I had it hard, I don't want somebody else to have it hard. And I don't think that those people that did one deployment, set it to defect, set it to goddamn NWR, making sure people signed in and out, you know what I'm saying? They got their patch for that shit. I don't think they should be going around talking shit.
I'm with you 100%. Let's see. We could drop it all the way down to the cab combat action badge, which is another dick measuring contest.
Don't get me started.
It's supposed to be while engaging the enemy, not while a mortar fell on the fob and you were 500 meters away.
I wonder if I could get one retroactive.
You probably could. You just got to put in for it and just get some fucking statements.
And I had the award to prove that I was actually in direct combat. It says help liberate the city of Negev. And it specified how many rounds we shot in support of the infantry in that motherfucker.
Dude, it's just, I think it's just honestly.
I don't even want it for the dick measuring. I want it because of something else, because that's what I need for them to actually give me a fair rating. And now I'm sounding like, I need that money. You know what I'm saying? But If you're not going to give me a fair rating off of this bullshit because I don't have a fucking cab, that's bullshit. CRSC is full of shit.
Mm,
Oh, I'm gonna say it.
nothing bad to say.
CRSC.
I got nothing
CRSC
bad to
is
say
full
about
of shit.
Chrisick.
Yeah, it's full of fucking shit.
No, it ain't. You keep
You
sending
got
me
me on
my
my high
Chrisick.
horse, man.
You
got
keep
me on
sending
my
me
high-
my CRSC, VA, and DOD. I
Yeah,
appreciate
you got me on my fucking high horse, chief.
But yeah, dude. So this gentleman, I posed that question on the TikToks, right? And again, I've never had such a immense amount of reactions ever to a video, which is cool. You know what I mean? This is what I look for. This is gunline talk. You know what I mean? This is the shit that I'm all about. So let me just go ahead and share my screen.
Good, because I'm going to show you how to pin this.
All right. So as you can see right here, just scrolling through it, bro. It's you got people that say keyword is combat. Congress has authorized for Cold War service a citation, but you must submit a form to get it. I qualified, but haven't done so. I mean, I was in Kosovo in 1999, first unit there, Operation Joint Guardian Task Force Falcon. I always thought we should have gotten a combat patch for that. I got a unit citation. And then, wow, brother, as a retired first sergeant, OIF, also served in the ROC for a year as a first sergeant. Most definitely, I agree that the Cold War service members get the combat patch. I agree with those that were at the DMZ. Honestly, I spent half my time in Camp Castle drinking. You know,
I see a nope.
Then, you get a no, sir. Nope. Got hazard pay. Didn't see combat. No. Been there, done that. I think it should be granted. The war is over. I've talked to men younger than myself.
The war isn't over, but it's an armistice. Yeah, it's a pause X, but
see, I mean, look, 2 DMZ tours for me, stop loss, and when Storm kicked off, we went back up and the unit disbanded. I mean, so I have never heard of this, and I was stationed at Camp Casey in 1990. We did the same thing, but it was considered a hardship tour. Exactly. That's all they considered. When I was there, obviously I was there, but in 07, 08, all I did was get the fuck drunk. Do you know what I mean? And
you see those 3 dots. I know you see them 3 dots by go up. Yeah, those 3 dots. Click on that.
Okay.
Never mind. That's this privacy setting. If you were on your matter of fact, you see the arrow, maybe on the arrow thing. No, where the tweet thing. Yeah. Is there something that says share? So there's nothing that says pin comments. Okay. If it was on your phone, I could tell you exactly how to do that.
It's all gravy, baby. You know, I just appreciate all the love that I'm getting on here. For all y'all that are liking it, do me a favor and what's it called? What's that shit called?
So they can if they follow. Yeah, you can follow. But here's what you need to, right? For those that listen to this and do this, once they comment or they're about to comment, they should see a button at the lower left-hand corner, and it should say repost. So we need you to repost this. It's going to repost your comment, and it's going to help boost the algorithm for that video. And once you boost the algorithm for that video, it's still going to get the rest of your videos are going to start to come to the FYP, the For You page.
Right
so
on, I
appreciate it, but make sure y'all comment and you repost. Click that button to repost.
Dude, that's fucking sick. I mean, I appreciate it, man. I mean, I don't know for those that know me, I don't know how to do any of this shit. So
I'm still learning,
and I'm still, you know, like I said, I'm half a tard when it comes to this. But I think, in my opinion, okay, I wasn't there during that time. You know what I mean?
Cold War.
Yeah, I mean,
So let me ask you this, because we're in the process of either going into a Cold War or a warm war with Russia. Technically, I think we are in a Cold War with Russia because we're using Ukraine as a proxy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're in a Cold War. So now should the people in Poland, since they're close to where combat is going on, should they get some kind of recognition or some kind of award?
I'm sure they're getting some kind of chest candy, kind of like the whole, I mean, we went to Afghanistan, we got the NATO fucking ribbon. or
But
NATO
bro,
net or
Afghanistan,
whatever.
but there was but we were having boots on ground in Afghanistan.
Right. Okay. Let me
But
ask you
we're not
this,
having boots on ground. It's proxy. Remember, it's proxy.
bro. My nephew, God bless him. And if you're hearing this, Eric, my bad, bro. But I'm about to shit all over it. He got a combat patch for being in Qatar. We used to go to R&R there. Okay.
I told you about my cousin, right? In 03. So, cousin in the Air Force. I'm in the Army. I'm in the motherfucking Army. 2003. Now, what people got to realize is in 2003, not everybody was allowed to go home. Like, no, there was only they were only maybe 14 people in the battalion. The battalion got to go home for 2 weeks. And I was one of the lucky ones that went home. So I went home, visited my dad for because my dad was getting out of jail around that time. So I was like, yeah. So they knew that and they let me go. So I went to my dad's side of the family, to Midland and shit.
I'm sorry. Yeah. There were just so many jokes that just popped into my head as soon as you said that shit.
Yeah, I don't fuck with that motherfucker. Ain't no way.
I know, but no, it's not that. It's just like, never mind. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. You were there, seen pops.
No, I really just wanted to see my side of the family, my mom's side of the family. But I did at least so I wouldn't feel bad. But yeah. So I went over there where my dad's side of the family is at, and his mother was like, hey, Tim, he's over there in Qatar. I think that's where he said. He said it's bad. He only gets to use the phone 3 times a week. And I said, what? I said, I'm out in the middle of the desert, and no, man, we had to pay $50 to use the sat phone for 15 fucking minutes. And luckily I got to do that. When I say in the middle of nowhere, I got to call my mom right in time before she left. She was leaving to go do something. And it was right on her birthday that I called. And I was so fucking lucky that I got to do that shit. And it was, like I said, about 15 minutes. Hey, I'm alive. I'm okay. Yeah, can't say too much. Can't say where I'm at. Can't do this. But, we're good. Everything's fine. Just reassuring.
It's just a trip to me. Is it really that bad? Do you really need it? Do you really? And this is just what are you looking for? And I'm not talking to you specifically, Mr. Flores. I'm speaking to a lot of these people out there. There was one young man in First Cav when they came to relieve us out there in Mosul, who said he couldn't wait to get a combat patch. A combat action badge. Okay. I'll gladly give you mine. Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'll be listening, but I just want to let you know I'll do that because I got something to say about that too.
Yeah, man. So I would gladly let you have mine if you want it. If it'll bring back the 2 KIA and the wounded from that day. Sometimes you got to be careful what the fuck you wish for. But back to this gentleman, Mr. Flores. I can understand where he's coming from in a way, if they were out there doing patrolling, if they were out there, and when he comes on, he's going to give us a bit more of the insight of what occurred. You know what I mean? So I don't want to shit all over him if I don't know the whole deal. But it seems to me that he is looking for recognition for those that served along the DMZ over in Area 1, and we're actually doing shit out there. I don't know that there's any kind of I don't think that there's any kind of financial gain in it at all, to be honest. It's just a combat patch.
It doesn't mean shit. Listen, it goes back to we were saying, it's a dick measuring contest. And I literally could be a dick and be like nobody else except 3rd ID, the 101st, and whatever other units were there prior to them saying that the major conflict has ended deserves to wear those patches. That's how I feel about it. Like I really want to tell these people that are using this dick measuring contest, like, you don't deserve your shit. How do you the way you talk about some people is the way I might feel about y'all. And not everybody sees these horrific things. Let's be honest. Not everybody sees these horrific things that they say they see.
Didn't we talk about this last time too? Like, you know,
we did. And
these motherfuckers out there, like, I mean, they were in constant combat. You know, I'm like, damn. You know, I get it. There might have been some folks that were out there like that, you know, but
yeah. There's a small, I guarantee there's maybe a 0.5% that was like that, especially those outposts in Afghanistan. I really can't speak on Afghanistan because I wasn't there. And I understand, like, troops in bro, I can tell you right now, man. Listen, I worked in the TOC on the 3rd deployment. There was not a lot of ticks that were going on in the AO. There was not a lot of ticks going on. There was not. And it's like, for somebody that can honestly say, when you have to guard an AHA, and you know exactly what an AHA is, ammunition holding area. So now if you literally could look outside and you could imagine a flat plane, but you have those husks, those little buildings where ammo is stored, right? Now you looking and all you see is that shit. And then that shit starts blowing up. And then you still have to literally go in there and pull these bodies out after the shit stopped dying down. And you can be like, yeah, I seen this shit. Like, yeah, that shit was crazy as fuck. Yeah. Like, we literally had to rub that skin off with a fucking Humvee because they had 3rd-degree burns. We put them in the back of the Humvee. Their fucking skin was already melted off and it just stayed on the fucking back of the fucking Humvee. Like, we did that shit. And it's like, I wouldn't wish that shit on nobody. That's what people don't understand when they talk about they want these combat badges. They want to do this. They want to do this. Wouldn't wish that shit on nobody. And they don't understand that shit. They think that shit makes them look cool. Something else I don't fucking like, since I'm on my fucking high horse. These motherfuckers that fucking I was attached to this unit. So, I was attached to special forces. So I'm gonna wear the spear with the 3 lightning bolts. You don't know dick about that shit. You didn't even earn, in my opinion, you didn't earn the right to wear that fucking patch. You were not 18 series. You did not earn the right just because you're attached to that fucking unit to do that shit. But you want to look tactical. Just like any other thing with people that we had people that when we were was it on the 3rd deployment, right? Apparently, you know, right before we were attached after we replaced whoever the fuck we replaced, for some reason we still fell up under 10th Mountain Division or whatever. And they were like, oh, well, you're authorized to wear the 10th Mountain patch. And people wearing it, these soldiers are wearing. I was like, y'all don't know dick shit about the fucking 10th Mountain. You don't know shit about their fucking history, but you want to wear this fucking patch. Now someone's gonna, hey, you look goofy as shit. Be proud of the fucking, if you're gonna wear it, be proud of that big ass fucking big patch. Be proud of that bitch. I wouldn't do that shit, man. No. And that's like when I see people, when I was in and I seen people that would fucking, this may be where I was a fucking cuck, not a cuck, but a chode. But when I seen people that fucking, and they had the 101st patch, I was like, oh shit, yo, what unit were you with? I was like, no, yo, what brigade were you with? Please tell me you weren't 3rd Brigade. Oh no, bro, I was just attached. I'm like, man, you fucking suck.
Take that shit
out of here. You don't deserve to wear that shit just because you were attached. You don't know shit about the 101st. You don't know shit about none of them goddamn brigades. You don't know shit about shit, but you want to look tactical.
Bro, I always wore the opposite on the end. Like, you know, when I was in 3rd ID, I wore the 4th ID patch on my right arm. And then after I left 3rd ID and got to 4th ID again, I switched it. I put the broken TV set on my right side and the motherfucking 4 lost lieutenants on my left. You know what I mean?
Hey, you know what stayed. You know what stayed. You know what stayed.
Oh, okay. Now, I will tell you that the one that I did wear, like on the dress uniform, it was Rock of the Mar, baby. I ain't gonna lie. Rock of the fucking
Rock of the Bar.
Hey, top of the rock, baby. I'm not gonna lie, man. I hated 3rd ID.
Fancy Pets Marine.
But I love 3rd ID. I mean, it you know, and not only that, but it was the actual deployment where I actually got to lead. You know what I mean? And I feel like if ever I did anything that was worthy of recognition or anything like that, it would have been that one. You know what I mean? Because I took my Joes out there. We were out in Mosul. And I get it. When you guys came and relieve us, it was fucking nice and peaceful and calm. We got fucked up over there. Route Toyota, you can suck a fat dick, Toyota. We were stopping in the middle of the motherfucking road, dog, in the middle of Mosul, smoke pounds. That motherfucker was like, hey, Bluetooth, stop the convoy. Then he's like, hey, let's go, dismount, get out. Me and him jump out there because we saw a motherfucker with a pencil and paper, like writing shit
down, yeah.
So, we were like, fuck that. So we jump out. Me and motherfucking Smoke walk up to this motherfucker with my terp. My Smoke pound about to go crazy on the. Tell this motherfucker what he writing. Ask this motherfucker what he writing right now. So, and I got my motherfucking weapon low ready. Like, let's do it. Let's do this shit, But lo and behold, like, a lot of people say that we were too aggressive.
Yeah, we heard that.
Huh?
We heard that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We got hit, bro. We weren't trying to get hit again. You know what I'm saying? We got fucked up. And you know what? Some of the shit that Smoke Pounds did saved his life. Because the day that we got fucked up, when they hit the RKG3 on his vehicle, if it wasn't for him taking the time, like, hey, all dismounts out, we're going to walk the motherfucker out until we get onto a secure location or safer location and then mount up. If he wouldn't have done that, bro, he would have been dead. Because that motherfucking RKG3, it hit, exploded, and the slug went straight through the motherfucking TCC. So, you know what? It went the other way, because instead of the motherfucker that threw it that would have killed him, Smoke popped him a couple of times, and then everybody else opened up. But that's another story for another day.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at, I forgot the whole fucking point of this story.
What
are we talking about?
Bro, listen,
Rock the fucking Marn. Holy shit. But Third ID, to me, I always heard of it as being like a storied fucking unit. You know what I mean? In Band of Brothers, they show the fucking 100 and worst supposedly taking over the Eagle's Nest when it was actually Third ID who got there first. So, but hey, it's all good,
we got a rendezvous with Destiny, baby. Hey, you seen that general? That general was like, yo, just wrote that one word reply.
Nuts.
Look, these nuts.
That was tight. That was tight, bro. That was tight.
That's why, like I said, but I had that pride with the 101st. Like that patch. You know what's crazy? So when we had to wear, coming back, you have to switch and both sides be matching. So I know when we came back with when we were with 4ID, man, as soon as they said, all right, we dismissed and we went to the families, man, I took that shit off and put my 101st. and it's crazy. Both times with first Cav, right? Mm-hmm. Bro, luckily Cav shit was so big it covered the 101st shit up on my arm. So like as soon as they were like, move those buses, and we got to our family and shit, I took that bitch off, man. Hey, it was 101st. I am so blessed I went to the 101st, man. I did not want to go, but I am so thankful I went.
Yep.
So fucking thankful I went.
One of my favorite fucking
that's dope.
Fuck yeah.
The belt buckle. I remember everybody, man. Dude, you know what? I'm not mad that I did it, but I was like, fuck, I wish I'd have kept that shit. I think my mom has a lot of them, but I gave a lot of my coins to my grandma when I first got back. I gave some to my uncles. I gave belt buckles to my uncles. I'm like, fuck, I wish I'd have kept that shit, but
right.
I mean, it is what it is.
It's what's amazing to me though, Hunt? Look at how we get like little kids, fucking dick measuring about whose unit is better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But do you think there's any kind of that unit pride now?
I don't know. I don't because I think that a lot of people think that the units suck and this that. Here's the deal. Without sounding too fucking woke or whatever, I do think that a lot of people are not afraid to talk about, hey, listen, this is wrong in the unit. Mm-hmm. I'm a person. I deserve to be. I got it. I'm a soldier, but at the same time, I deserve to be treated with respect. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? There's what is it? There's plenty of ways. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Mm-hmm. Right. Now, as long as you're not degrading somebody, I got it. You don't got to degrade them, but I can make your life, I can make it miserable for you without degrading you. Mm-hmm. I can make it miserable for you because guess what? If I'm gonna tell you to be here at 4:00 for some corrective training, I bet you I'll be there at 3, waiting.
Well, it's not only that. It's just I think the mentality of having pride in what you do. I mean, they instilled My drill sergeants instilled pride in the field artillery to me from like day motherfucking one.
Bro,
You
I used
know,
to know the fucking artillery creed, the old school joint. That's
Mhm.
how much shit that like, yo, you have to know this shit. Even in basic, even when I got to my unit, they were like, nah, you better know this shit.
And you had to carry that motherfucking red book with you.
Yep.
They don't know that was a sensitive motherfucking item.
Yeah,
Do they even
get
do that
caught without it.
anymore?
Get caught without it.
Shit. I mean, it's a trip to me. Like, yeah, we reminisce here on our good times out there, but it's a trip. I mean, it kind of makes me wonder about, like I said, homeboy again. Um, as far as like the recognition that he's looking for, like, it's like when I see the gents wearing Cold War veteran hats, like, why don't you just put Army veteran? Are you looking for something to say war on it? You know what I'm saying? Why isn't Army veteran just enough?
Yeah.
Because then you start getting into the fucking breaking down, like, okay, do you really want to break it down? How many motherfuckers that are out there that are wearing, like you were saying, a goddamn combat patch did anything that was combat related? I'll wait. How many times were y'all blown up? How many times were you shot at? And I'm not talking about indirectly where you just happen to be somewhere. I'm talking about,
where
shit.
you 5.5 was 7.62 coming at you.
Bro, I remember
Or
the
that
first time we had a
20
fucking rocket sent us. We were barely there in fucking in Baghdad. Me, Cruz, Kowalczyk were on OP7 on top of the motherfucking mosque. And then all of a sudden, Revere, his name was he was Specialist Promotable Revere from 176. He was standing behind us. Kowalczyk's out there taking fucking pictures on top of the mosque. He came to drop us off some chow, and everything was just lighting up out there in Baghdad. Like you could just hear the boom, 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 boom. It was early January, bro. And remember OP7, how it was pointed out that way, and then to the left you had the river. You had was it the Tigris?
I believe. I was never on. I always at the gate when it was our time for that shit. I was always made sure I was at the gate.
Oh, bro, here's the funny part. I mean, we were still ripping. We were still fucking ripping. It was the first time we went to OP7. We were hanging out up there, and all of a sudden you hear the booms, the booms, the booms. Kowalczyk's taking pictures, and then you just hear one really loud ass boom. And I'm like, God damn, that sounded kind of. I didn't even say close. When you just hear. Bro, I fucking get dropped down by fucking Revere. Revere jumps on top of me and Cruz. We get dropped down on the floor. Kowalczyk is like, holy shit. And he ducks down. Cruz is like, I just saw a fucking rocket right in front of our OP. That rocket would have gone a little bit more to the right. I don't know if I'd be here talking to you. You know what I'm saying? And we called that shit up immediately and whatnot. And I'm not going to lie. Me and Cruz like, oh, shit, we're combat vets. We're combat vets. You know what I'm saying? But, it was funny as fuck seeing Kowalczyk. Kowalczyk like, I just came to drop y'all some food. I'm out here. That motherfucker picked up and left.
Fucking Kowalczyk.
That motherfucker Chuck Deuce is like, I'm out of this bitch.
Bro, I remember that fucking when we were leaving, we were trying to get ready to leave. We were trying to pack our shit.
Yeah.
And it was at night, and everybody was scrambling, yo. Everybody fucking scrambled like a motherfucker, chief.
And that's the thing, though. Like, how many of these motherfuckers actually were in some kind of a fucking threat? Like, how many times were their convoys really hit? You know what I'm saying, dude?
Well, I'll say this because like that 200 plus vehicle convoy that I was on from Kuwait to right side out in the Zef, because that's when we kind of start splitting up. We were never hit, and this was all soft skin. But like I said, that next day, okay, hey, it's time to do your job, guys. Bro, I shit you not. And I know our time's running down, and I'm sorry to keep interrupting, man.
Oh, no, you good, baby. This
but I shit you fucking not. Bro, Kiowas, the OH-58 Deltas, they would kind of land where near our firing point. We could literally see them. We could actually go run out there if we wanted to.
Yeah.
And fucking, they would land, refill or whatever, go fly off, go fly into Najaf, and on their way back, fire mission. Like,
this motherfucker froze. What the fuck? Oh, you got the cheesiest fucking grin. I don't know if y'all can hear me right now. But it seems like we got our frozen man here, and that shit is, not gonna lie, pretty funny fucking picture. I gotta take a picture of this shit. Dude. God dog it. So come on, Hunt. Are you there? Are you there? Bueller. Bueller. Cancel. And he dropped. So with that being said, y'all, I appreciate it. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I really wanted to see Mr. Flores come on here and have that discussion with us as to why the combat patch is really that so important. You know, I mean, I'm not one to judge. You know what I mean? If he wants that recognition of having that combat patch, I mean, I guess that's what he wants. You know what I mean? But is it earned? That's where that question comes in. Like, is it deserved? So I mean, it's because when I was in Korea, I mean, all I did was party. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, there wasn't 20 years ago either, you know, or 30 years ago. So I don't know. I'd like to hear what y'all think, though. Feel free to hit us up here on the gunline at gmail.com if you want to come on here and shoot the shit with me. You know, kick back, have a cool discussion. Let me know. That'd be cool too. But yeah, I hope to see y'all on here soon. And with that being said, I don't know what happened with Hunt's interwebs. I think it was probably, you know, the feds heard us talking. They had to take us off. So with that being said, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this conversation that Hunt and I just had. And send me some more feedback regarding the combat patch and what y'all think. I appreciate y'all. With that being said, rounds complete and the mission. Gunline out. Bye, y'all.